103.7 KISS FM presents J-Matt's Social Club, a radio.com podcast.
Happy whatever day of the week it is that you're listening to this episode of J-Matt's Social Club. Today's topic is on vlogging with YouTube, and our guest is Martin Moore, the official photographer and filmmaker for KOS, as well as Milwaukee's most active vlogger. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate the very kind intro.
I like to have an intro so people have a little idea.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do it too long.
Yeah, I like it. I like
right
it.
in.
Well done.
Thank you. Why do you vlog?
Why do I vlog? Well, I started vlogging because I was doing photography at the time. I started doing photography in like 2008. And I think in like 2015, I had like no weddings, no commercial shoots, nothing planned or no clients for the whole year. And I was like in this weird creative rut. So I went on YouTube and I typed in Milwaukee vloggers, and there's some guy from UWM who like kind of talked into his iMac, and there's a couple beauty vloggers, but there was no one like running around the city with a camera, yapping, telling stories about the city. And so I was like, maybe I'll try that. So that was really the reason I started vlogging, was to kind of use it as a creative outlet, but more importantly to kind of like prop up my photography. What I didn't expect happening was my vlog kind of being the catalyst for this whole new career that I have now, working for KOS and all that. But that was the main reason why I started vlogging.
Because your current boss saw one of your vlogs.
Yeah,
and
that's
was like,
how
this guy needs to work for KOS.
That's how KOS had found me.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
On Milwaukee found me through my YouTube videos, and so I did some stuff for them. But the more that I did it, the more it became just about like kind of documenting my life and kind of getting to relive my life at the click of a button. And so those are kind of like the two reasons why I started vlogging.
So those are your reasons for vlogging.
Yeah.
Why should somebody that isn't vlogging now consider vlogging?
I think a lot of people want to start vlogging because they really enjoy watching their favorite YouTubers. They enjoy watching like Peter McKinnon or I don't know, Casey Neistat or whoever, and they kind of want to like do what they do and kind of live that extravagant vlogging lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think you should really, that if you do it for that, I think you'll burn out really quick if you do it for disingenuous reasons like that. I think you should really, first and foremost, want to document your life and have some kind of experience or story that you want to share with people. And I think that'll make it a lot more fun, a lot more sustainable, and a lot easier if you're doing it for you first and you're not worried about growing a big, huge audience or getting brand endorsements or making a living off of it. I think doing it for yourself first is the absolute main reason why you should start.
I think there's a variety of people that are intrigued by vlogging and watch a lot of vlogs and said, oh, I could probably do that, but I'm really boring.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody that says, I'm boring, I don't know what story of my life people would want to hear?
Exactly. And you and I have talked about this a lot too, particularly when we do like Instagram stories and stuff. You can make anything entertaining, whether it's going to a grocery store or a night out with your friends at the movies or the bar, or you're pumping gas. As long as whatever story you're trying to tell, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, doesn't matter. There's some beginning, middle, and an end. As long as you have those three basic parts, you can make anything interesting. So even like what we're doing now, you could turn this into a small little story. And human beings really gravitate towards stories, to stuff that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I think the biggest mistake a lot of people who are starting to do like Instagram stories or vlogs is just throwing their audience and throwing the people just in the middle of whatever scenario they're in. And it's really hard as someone who if I don't know you or what you do for a living and I come across you, all of a sudden you're here at KISS FM. I have no idea if you work here. I have no idea when this was shot, what you're doing. And so I think really setting up your day, what it is you're going to be doing, and then what you're doing, and then kind of a conclusion. It's a more complete story for people to kind of like cling on to and latch onto. And it also creates habits that people can kind of like little idiosyncrasies that you do that people can kind of like expect and know when they see certain scenes what's going to happen next. So, for example, like in my Instagram stories, I'm always using this to like check into the building through security. And people know when they see that, or they see me getting out of my car, my feet, that probably the next clip or something is going to be talking about where I am, what I'm doing. Am I on a photo shoot? Am I traveling? Am I coming here to do this post with you? So that's another advantageous reason to do a beginning, a middle, and an end, is to kind of have a consistent theme and scenes in your stories that you're doing. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Or not.
I would say, I think something people overlook a lot, because once you get into your flow of your vlog and what you're telling through your day, people just kind of end and they're like, oh, I've done enough content, and they don't have an actual close. They don't end the vlog. It awkwardly, abruptly ends.
Exactly. And that's that harsh ending. It doesn't work for a movie. It doesn't work for a TV show. So why would you think it would work for a vlog or an Instagram story or a TikTok or Snapchat or whatever? And so, like you said, not ending it abruptly, even just like, I don't know, filming you going into an elevator and walking out the door of the hotel or the bar or the gas station, wherever you were, it concludes, and that resolution, that resolve in that story is it's like a payoff isn't the word, but when you're watching it, it's kind of like a payoff, and it's the end, the completion of whatever the story you were telling, and people, I think, react to that and gravitate towards that. And
I think if you get to the point where you finish editing and you're like, wow, I don't really have a conclusion, I don't think anyone's going to be too upset if you just jump on and be like, all right, so this has been a great day, and you just do your own little recap at the end.
Exactly, and that's something that I've tried to do too, is let's say you didn't film something, there's nothing wrong with taking your phone and setting it up and just filming a filler explaining how your day ended, or let's say, I don't know, your footage you accidentally deleted or something. There's nothing wrong with setting your phone up and just like chiming in your own story and filling the audience in on what it is that you were doing. Again, it really helps complete the whole beginning, middle, end of telling a story.
Okay, what kind of technology, software, equipment do you use for shooting vlogs?
So when I first started, I wanted it to be as like low key as possible. So I used my iPhone, and I think at the time I had the iPhone 6 maybe, or maybe even like the iPhone 5, whatever's out in 2015. And then I started using, and I was editing it all in iMovie on my phone. Then I started editing in iMovie on my computer. Then I got my digital SLR. Then I got Final Cut Pro. Then I got a big tripod like everybody uses, and a microphone. And I had this giant contraption, and I was so sick of carrying that thing around. Like on vacation, and like even like when we would go out, when I would go to #MKEs, I'd just be running around with this giant camera, and it just became super intrusive, and it made me not want to vlog. And so now I'm back to just using my iPhone 11 Pro. And the phones are so good nowadays. The cameras are so good. The microphones are so good. This is really all you need. Unless you're shooting in a cave and there's like absolutely no lighting, you don't need anything more than this. You really don't. What you're filming on right now is an iPhone.
Exactly.
And so
I'm kind of cheating because I'm using the audio from boards and everything, and I'm gonna sync it up, but like
but you know, audio is the most important part when you're doing a video. You could be filming on a potato, but as long as the audio sounds really good. So if your phone takes good video, but the audio kind of sucks, I maybe invest in like a little cheap.
There's Rode mics that actually plug into iPhones.
Yeah, I've seen those.
You can put a little wind guard on it. It's perfect for outside.
I always wanted to get one, but I never did because I feel like I'd have to carry that around everywhere with me. This thing I can just record in whenever I want, wherever I want, and just the less stuff I have to bring, the easier it is for me to just tell my story. I also look way less stupid. Meandering around the city talking to this, which is normal these days in 2020.
Maybe you're just FaceTiming someone.
Exactly. Versus a giant honking camera. Everybody's like, what's this dude doing? But that's basically what I use. And Final Cut Pro, I edit in.
How much B-roll do you get?
Oh my God, a lot. I have on my phone right now, I save every single video that I've ever shot since probably 2003 maybe. So on my phone, on my iCloud drive, I have 5,756 videos. I don't know if you can see that.
That's okay, yeah.
But I shoot a lot of B-roll. I would say 80% of the video that I shoot for my vlogs or my Instagram stories, I end up never using. What
would you say for somebody that is new to vlogging, that doesn't do B-roll regularly, what should someone know when they're setting up those shots and creating them?
Again, make sure that every shot isn't just like a glamour shot. That whatever shot you're including is part of the story that you're trying to tell, is important to the story that you're trying to tell. And it's not just some weird random shot of you walking or a time lapse or whatever it is. It's got to be important and vital to the story. Otherwise, don't put it in there because people will just skip past it, or it'll make your video really boring really quick. Especially if it's in the beginning of your video.
And you certainly need those transitional B-roll things. So
100%.
It's not just you talking to the camera nonstop.
Exactly.
People get bored of that too.
Exactly. It gives, like you said, it gives the story in the video that you're showing people a little bit room to breathe, and it gives it context as to where you are, what you're doing, what time of the day it is. And so B-roll is very, very important, but you also don't want to overdo it with just a bunch of nonsense.
By the way, my favorite B-roll is the one where they set up the camera, then they got to walk all the way back so that they can be on video walking to the camera.
I used to do that, and I used to do stuff like when I would travel, I would go into the hotel room and I would like set my camera up in the back of the hotel room so that you could see the inside the hotel room, see the door opening and me walking in. And I kind of got sick of that. So now I do a lot more like first person B-roll of like my feet or me holding it like from my perspective and my point of view, rather than setting my phone up and except when I do ride bird scooters in the summertime. That I'll put it up and I'll just just zip right by.
You kind of have to do one of those shots.
But B-roll's important.
Okay, so music is another big thing of vlogs.
Yes.
What are your thoughts and opinions on finding the right song?
So before I started the vlog, I was doing Snapchat stories. And I don't know if you remember, but you didn't used to be able to compile a bunch of Snapchats together.
Yeah.
That was like before you would just like post like one thing and then like it would disappear. But Snapchat introduced this thing where you could like do stories and you could compile like a bunch of them together. And that was really when I first started getting into vlogging, and I started like making Snapchat stories that were like a minute or 2 minutes long. And I always wanted to do YouTube vlogs, but the biggest thing that was deterring me was the music. Because before the YouTube channel I have now, I had another one where I would upload all of my vacation movies that I made. So I used to make like vacation movies for every trip I'd ever go on. And it had like Owl City and Katy Perry and all this music that got like copyright claims.
Yeah.
So I got like 50-something copyright claims when YouTube's algorithm was able to sniff out music. And my YouTube channel got shut down like in a day. And so when I was doing Snapchat stories, that was one of the reasons why I didn't hop onto YouTube, is because for me, music is so important as to setting the tone for the video and the story that you're telling. And when I finally came across SoundCloud, that was like a game changer for me, because there were so many artists on SoundCloud who were willing to donate their music or let YouTubers use their music to kind of help promote them as artists. And so I would throw like $20 their way whenever I would use a lot of it. But when I came across SoundCloud and I came across some artists and became friends with them and was able to kind of find reliable, consistent music that fit the story that I wanted to tell, that's when I was like I'm doing this, I'm all in. And I started making YouTube videos every day. But for me, music is the most important thing. I spend more time looking for music than I actually do editing the video and recording it. Like there's some videos where I'll spend 3, 4, 5 hours looking for one song, or I'll come across a song and I'll get a whole idea for a vlog or a YouTube video for it.
Right.
So for me, music is really important. I can tell for a lot of people that it's not.
Right.
They'll just go on YouTube and go like for all like the free music and pick like something that works. And you can always tell that kind of music.
Yeah.
So
Very
for
obvious.
me, music is very, very, very important. And I think people recognize that and recognize creators that are really good and smart about using music that fits the theme and tone of whatever they're trying to tell. So music is very, 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 very important. And don't steal it.
Don't steal it.
Always
for
get
sure.
it
Because
legally.
like if your video comes down, then it's wasted effort all around.
Exactly. Or if you're trying to monetize it and someone else gets all the ad rev, but
yeah. All right, so now it's time for distribution. YouTube is what we're talking about today. What do we have to know about uploading content to YouTube? I know that's a big question.
Yeah, uploading content to YouTube is the easy part. I mean, obviously high definition.
Right.
Always make sure that you're using useful tags. When you're uploading your video to YouTube, one thing that I didn't realize was that whatever your file name that you're uploading is, that should have keywords in it. So let's say I'm doing a vlog about JMatt and Martin doing this podcast together. The video should be JMatt/Martin/Moore/KissFM/podcast.mov or AVI or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if it's just untitled.mp4 or MOV, that's not good. YouTube uses the name, not only the name of the video that you're uploading, but if you upload a separate thumbnail, it'll use the keywords in the name of that JPEG for search results. So it's almost as important as the tags that you put in. And a lot of people don't realize
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's very, very important. It's the same way where on Google Images, if you were to upload an image of like every image that you put of JMatt on, whether you post it on Twitter or you post it on Facebook or wherever, it should always be JMatt/KissFM/Milwaukee/#MKE .jpg, because when you search on Google for JMatt,
Yeah.
it's going to use the name of the image to try and
That's
find
true.
that image. Same thing with video. So that's a really, really important part.
Okay.
And then distribution is a whole other animal.
Very quick, and I know we're about 15 minutes in. How do you pick the right title? How do you pick the right tags for your YouTube video?
Tags, you want to use the most relevant things. You don't ever want to try and trick YouTube, because YouTube will, when it says processing and it's processing your video, not only is it looking for stolen music, but it's also trying to pick out what you're saying.
Yeah.
And if you're saying Kiss FM all the time in your YouTube video and you use the tag Kiss FM, it knows that this video is about Kiss FM. If you say Kiss FM all the time in the video, but you put some other radio station in the tag to try and trick people or trick the algorithm, it will know that. So you always want to make sure to use tags that complement whatever you're saying in the video. And then as far as titles, the clickbaitier the better. I hate saying it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. I always like to do like really fun, interesting titles that aren't really like search friendly. But search friendly and clickbaity are the ones that really seem to do.
One of the tricks that I learned is you start typing in what the context of your video is on YouTube, and you see what the actual answers are.
Exactly.
And then if you can create your title be the answer to one of those questions, then you can probably do better with that. Yeah.
But I mean, if you're making a video about going to Summerfest, like you would want to title it my day at Summerfest 2020.
Yeah.
Like that is going to get way more views than if you title it like some funny
going
thing.
to a concert tonight.
Yes, exactly. Which is like I would come up with something stupid like that, and I've been trying to get better at that. But I really don't like. You really have to do really cheesy YouTube titles in order to get that SEO, and I hate doing it, and I know it hurts me. So do as I say, not as I do.
Right. Okay, distribution. How do you get your vlog out there so people see it?
It's hard, just like all things, social media. But the problem that I've run into and that a lot of YouTubers run into is with the ubiquity of video on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and all these platforms are doing their own video. Their algorithms are suppressing any competition. So, for example, in Facebook, if you create a post and it's JMatt's, I don't know, vlog, whatever, it's not going to push that post to your feed of all your friends and stuff that follow you because it sees a YouTube link and it wants you to upload that video straight to Facebook. Same thing with Twitter. Twitter wants you to upload it. They want you to use their service. So when Twitter sees a post that you've made with your YouTube link, it hides it. Not only does it like hide it, but even if somebody does see it, it won't even show the thumbnail. It'll just show the link. And it's been increasingly frustrating, and I've seen my views go down and down and down over the past couple years because of that. And we've talked about it too.
Can you trick it by like making it a Bitly link?
Yes, so you can trick it by using Bitly, but I felt like the algorithm starts figuring that out too. If it sees any of these social platforms, if it sees you consistently making posts more than once a week, linking to a particular site, whether it's Bitly or Amazon or YouTube,
even your blog.
or even your blog, it's going to look at you as spam. It's going to look at you as a brand trying to advertise, and it's going to pick for your followers what it wants you to see. And so it's frustrating. So you really rely on people sharing your content, and so it's got to be really good, fun, engaging content, and you got to hope that people share it, because the algorithm, there's nothing worse than spending all that time creating content only for you to be bottlenecked at the algorithm, and it's really frustrating. I uploaded my 2019 year in review video, which took me 2.5 months to edit, and it's like my video that I'm most proud of, and it's got like 350 views, and I mean, I've blasted it everywhere, every social platform. I put it on WordPress, but it's just nobody's seeing it. I asked my mom, who likes everything, did you see it? No.
Can you go in and actually adjust like tags and the title after the fact, and maybe that'll push it up again?
You can, but I feel like YouTube knows that, and these platforms aren't stupid. They know all the tricks that people are trying to exploit.
Right.
One thing I have noticed for Twitter, which is a hack that I've been using over the last couple of years, is retweeting your own tweets.
Yep.
And so if you have a video that you posted for YouTube, and maybe you got 5-6 likes or something like that, and it feels like nobody's seeing it. A couple days later, retweet it rather than redo another post, because you do another post with the same link.
Yep.
Algorithm's going to see that, whereas you retweet it, Twitter really kind of likes that. So there's very small hacks like that you can kind of find. But as far as distribution, again, YouTube is really, really, really tough. Because
you got to
of all
build
the
your
competition.
audience on YouTube, and then the next one comes out, and hopefully people have subscribed.
Yeah. Or if you do a gaming channel or a beauty channel,
Right, totally.
or a prank channel, or a cat channel,
Yep.
those do fine on their own. You don't even have to promote those.
Yep, exactly. All right, well, I think we are at our limit. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're
I hope
welcome.
this was helpful to.
I think we covered a lot of good things about vlogging and especially YouTube.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you so much for listening. For all episodes, visit 1037kissfm.com or find JMAT Social Club with our radio.com app.